let's go back in time a bit. It's 1995, one of the best sequels anything ever made in any universe came out and started to exist. Stephen Hawking looked through his magic science telescope and was like,
I've seen proof of parallel universes, but none of that matters now, because this game shatters religion.
That game was Donkey Kong Country 2. One part monkey and one part yeah. This game was an aphrodisiac for the eyes. Dixie Kong, who later went on to birth Willow Smith, who would never whip her hair back and forth so great if it weren't for her mother, was introduced and proved to pilots everywhere that you didn't need a license to fly. You just needed L'Oreal. Diddy Kong was back too. He wore hats. With an entity that amazing, I think everyone failed to realize that it might have been meant to cover up the fact that there was a first attempt at a sequel made. And it was so bad, it was like playing with cardboard. It was called Donkey Kong Pong Pitchin game. Also released in 1995, this game came with a rating of ages 7 and up. Clearly not a game meant for everyone to enjoy. What about the people who are 5 years old? What about the babies? I think it was clear to see why Rare might have had to release a slightly revised sequel in the same year. Look at the graphics on this thing. Way to go, Canada Games! So in this game, players must toss their POGs into the targets by following the numbered sequence on the targets. Once a player reaches and tosses a POG into target number 5, their turn's completed and their POGs are tallied. And the player with the least amount of POGs used at the end of the game wins. You know what though, I have to give some kudos to this game because it was one of the first games to utilize motion controls up to that point, other than the Power Glove.
Hands are the most organic controllers known to man. Like, your veins are the wires that God has given you, and up to this point, they're not being used to be what they were born to be.
Yeah, I think issues such as flat graphics and lack of SNES controller support were really making sales for it non-existent.
I will never understand how people couldn't figure out that controllers didn't need to be purchased. They were born with them. We were saving the money.
Yeah, once the game was released, critical and consumer reception was poor.
Production was plagued from the start. First of all, we ran out of cardboard, because that's pretty important. Ran out of duct tape, because some stupid accounting decided we don't need duct tape for a video game. You. And then, the designers decided to be a bunch of completely screw us all over. They decided to with all the design instead of telling everyone else what's going on, so we decided we're left there with a bunch of our hanging out and our flopping up in the wind, and now we don't know what the to do.
With this, I think Canada Games reached their final strike, and Rare learned to not issue out their IPs to other lesser-known companies. But apparently they didn't learn from this Canada Games mishap, because the whole Microsoft thing happened. I just want my real Banjo-Kazooie 3. Not some game where I have to make like Lego cars and race around. You know, it wasn't bad, but it still wasn't what it could have been. Now we're getting Ukulele when it really could have been Banjo-Kazooie 3. So I think people forget about or don't even know about this Donkey Kong Country game. It's not possible that this game can hold up to today's standards. Alright, let's see if this game holds up after like 2 decades. I think you'd have to be drunk to play this game. Idea. I got this shot. Hold on. I got my banana nunchuck.
Quit moving it. We gotta quit moving that. Alright, it's your turn. Alright.